Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel, and in this episode we want to talk about this KARTZ trial. What are the most important steps in order to improve your results? Now granted, we know that the big boys will gonna get this, but still doesn't change the fact that we have to make this video because probably in the future, let's hope that River Game will gonna improve these rewards to make it a bit more worth it. So let's start with the first point right here. Please do not forget to give the likes or these emojis right there for the buffs. This is super important, which leads us to the second most important thing, which is the buffs. Yeah, so it's always super helpful to organize a buffing party with your friends so they can use the skin, so you can help each other. But why in God's name are you parking so close to this? I simply don't understand this. So you're missing out on some videos. So why is that the issue? Because there are a lot of players out there which have a few skins. So if you park this close to this thing right here, you don't have the time to switch between the skins. You don't have the time to use other buffs. So let me show you again how to do this. So the first thing what you're gonna do, of course, use your buffs from here, whatever buffs you have, or your friends can use that, so you can also get something out of this. Of course, you have the buffs. If you have Amalia, these are the paints, which gives you some extra buffs. And of course, you can reach Villar's buff also from here, and you're gonna need it. So first of all, you start by searching for a skin which simply just gives you an extra match. Now, you see me here with Hyperion, but we spoke about this and people apparently still missing out on the videos, because there are also skins which were in the gacha, for example, for free, like this one, for example. It simply doesn't matter that this base skin right here doesn't have any extra equipping stats because we don't need that. I'm gonna equip that, and then I go there, and I'm gonna start the challenge. You can start your march. Now, it's always very wise to have the march skin equipped first, because if you don't have the extra march skin equipped first, then you have to redo the whole march because you're gonna miss everywhere a few units. So you have set your march. Now here you have to pay attention because you can set up to 6 marches in here, and you should definitely use that. Now it doesn't quite matter if the heroes are weaker or whatever with the skills, just put something in there because it's always gonna help. Then you're gonna click the button march. Sadly, I still have to wait 2 hours. And for that, let's use this Dark Legion right here in order to simulate this. So you send the march out, presumably that's the big march right there. Once you send, you still need this time in order to do the following things. So first of all, switch to a different skin. Now granted, the Mountain Academy looks pretty interesting, to be honest, so you equip that. And on top of this, if you have a second skin, which is the Flying Castle, I'm gonna show you in a second, you have this buff right here, the Magic Blow, which gives you on top a 20% attack boost for all your units, and will also gonna increase your march time by 75%. So yeah, dear beautiful people, especially of the server 835, what in God's name are you doing so close to this? It's not helping you. So good, now let's jump into the second part, in which we have to talk, of course, about the components. And for that, you know what, I have to start a battle report, because we have to see what's happening here in order to understand what are the best components for this setup in order to increase your result. Now, first of all, what we see right here is that the opponent will gonna hit with all his 9 slots first. In other words, your high fire rate won't matter at all. So that's one component we can actually change. So what other components can we change? Can we actually go into this world boss setup? And the answer is very simple, absolutely not. Why? Let me zoom in here, and just after a couple of hits, you already see how I'm losing a lot of my units, and the lower the amount of units I have on my slots, the less damage I'm gonna do. So in other words, yes, the components with the damage decrease, you should definitely not take those out, because you're gonna do less damage while having less units on your slots. And on top of this, also those heroes, or of course your main march, because you can send up to 6 marches to this challenge, you should definitely use the damage decrease. This is gonna help you a lot. So let's jump into the components very quick right here and see how we would set up this. So first of all, of course, we take the high fire rate from all 3 units out. Now granted, you can share your observation with us in this video, and not just that, maybe I have missed some things, and so please make sure if you notice this, write it in a very good way, like a structured way, like point 1, point 2, point 3. Hopefully I'm not missing that many points, because then we're gonna take that message and I'm gonna pin it to the video so everybody sees. So what I'm gonna use here, as far as I have observed, I haven't saw that many dodges from the opponent. So from this perspective, I would highly suggest you guys to equip this one right here, which is extra 50% damage from crits. Now you really have to pay attention. Do not equip this, which increases your crit rate by 50%. This one right here is way better. So of course, there's one more thing which you can do in order to improve your damage, but I was struggling a lot thinking about, should I add this into the video, yes or no? So I decided to add this in the video, but I really have to put a massive warning on this step right here, because of the fact that you can set up to 6 marches. Of course, you should take advantage of this and use some heroes. Doesn't matter if they are not 5 stars at all, anything will definitely gonna help you. And this next step right here is you can actually add gear on these heroes. Like you see now, my gear, which is safe for the 2nd march or even a 3rd march, but you really have to pay attention, because adding gear to these heroes, which you are definitely not using on the daily basis like your main march, will increase your CP power, guys. And you really have to be careful, because still the rewards of this event are not quite necessarily worth it. And of course, on top of this, we have the transfer window, which is, by the way, a topic for the next video. But let me give you a summary right here. My feedback towards the developer is, due to the fact that yet again we have this announcement coming way too late, and the window being very small, and a lot of people would like to join another server, they should definitely raise the cap up to 200 or even higher. Of course, what also helps us is you writing in the comments on this topic, what do you think about transfer? And yes, we are all aware that all the players up to VIP 10 are actually gonna pay a higher price in the future, which is again not necessarily the best idea which River Game has ever had. So this is the way I would actually set up my march if I want to reach a higher value. Anyways, beautiful people, I hope this pretty much covers everything regarding this KARTZ trial right here. Granted, of course, the big boys will gonna get the bigger rewards, but I will gonna send my feedback to the developers asking, of course, we should see in the Warzone also a gold catalyst, dear developers, because a gold catalyst is not necessarily automatically, meaning I'm also gonna get these broken special effects. And on this topic right here, a huge hint, one of the upcoming videos is going to be exactly about this topic, about the gear, about the special effect, about the things which we haven't discussed till this moment. And I promise you, it's going to be a super interesting, which gonna highlight how is River Game actually approaching this, possibly on different servers. So anyways, beautiful people, I wish you a fantastic day, a fantastic evening. Don't forget, as always, to check if you are subscribed to this channel, because this motivates me a lot to carry on, even though I have seen in the last month the views have dropped by 60 or 70%, which is absolutely devastating from my perspective. I really hope that the reason is a lot of people actually leaving the game in not necessarily my content, because I always try my best in order to improve with every single video, offering you a better video quality, a better information quality, and so on. So yes, dear beautiful people, for better or for worse, I'm gonna carry on with this channel and hope whomever stays and keeps playing Top War to get to help him. And of course, your support is always needed in order to keep pushing the developers, keep giving them ideas, because we saw a lot of their decisions which are taken on their own are not necessarily something which helps the game always. So they need us. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to see me in the next super interesting episode.